Let's move on with a look through the top headlines in the international newspapers now with Flo. Hi there, Flo.
Hey, Kat.
And you're going to start us off over in Brazil. Now, this is a story we've been reporting on France 24. A lot of anger there about a case of gang rape. A teenage girl who's come out and said that 30 men assaulted her. A video has circulated, and this is still getting a lot of headlines, isn't it?
That's right. Several demonstrations are planned today to protest against what many Brazilians call rape culture. It's a huge story in the Brazilian papers. Folha de Sao Paulo, for instance, comes back on the statistics that are stunning. In 2014, police say they recorded a sexual assault every 11 minutes. And police say that only 10% of cases are reported. So lots of outrage. Lots of victim blaming going on as well, though, and that's what this article focuses on in Folha de Sao Paulo. It actually lists some of the accusations against this young girl, perhaps the way she was dressing, the way she was dressed, rather, or her questionable morals. Maybe she was looking for it. That's what some people said. These comments make this paper sick. When are we going to not judge the victims of rape, but those that actually carry out rape?
And other Brazilian papers are weighing in as well. People talking about the country sort of starting to wake up to the gravity of this problem.
That's right. Veja, another paper, applauds the fact that a bill has just gone through the Senate that's going to increase the penalty for rapists, for instance, increasing the prison sentence by 2/3. Now, French paper Libération is also focusing on this case. You can see here on the front page, after India in 2012, Brazil is confronting this case of gang rape, of a rare violence, and you can see their take on things. Rape is a crime without border. The fight against rape is a global fight, and it calls for awareness to be raised across the world.
Well, indeed, highlighting the global nature of this crime. Several women in Germany say that they've been sexually assaulted at a music festival.
That's right. This is a story that's getting a lot of attention in the German press. As you can imagine, Der Spiegel comes back on these details. So it allegedly happened at a music festival in Darmstadt on Saturday. This article talks about around 30 women who said they were encircled and then sexually harassed by a group of men. 3 men from Pakistan were arrested and then released, and police are searching for other suspects. Of course, this story brings to mind another incident that happened over New Year's Eve in Cologne and other towns in Germany, where as many as 1,000 women were robbed and groped. Die Welt focuses on this parallel that people might be drawing. Another big celebration in the open air, and more women that are allegedly sexually harassed. But there are differences, according to Die Welt. First of all, we're talking about a much smaller scale here. And also authorities were very quick to react in arresting suspects and in searching for suspects.
All right, let's move on to a story from here in France, in fact, and a football link coming up to the Euro 2016 tournament as we are. The French footballer Karim Benzema has given an interview to a Spanish sports newspaper, and he's had some very harsh words for the France coach, Didier Deschamps, who did not pick him for the France squad for the Euro 2016. He's saying he's got very questionable motives.
That's right, and this interview that he's given to Marca, the sports daily in Spain, is getting a lot of attention, it must be said, across France. What did he say? Well, he accuses Didier Deschamps of bowing to pressure from racists. Essentially, that's the reason he didn't choose him to join the team. Now, this comment that he made echoes a similar accusation that made a lot of noise last week. This came from the French legend Éric Cantona, who made a very similar comment. He told The Guardian last week that Deschamps had excluded not only Karim Benzema, but another player, Hatem Ben Arfa, because of their North African heritage. And this comment that he made in The Guardian actually drew threats of legal action from Didier Deschamps' lawyers.
Of course, there might be many reasons why he wasn't picked. Perhaps we'll hear more from Didier Deschamps himself. But a French-Moroccan actor and director, Jamel Debbouze, has sort of weighed into all of this. He's made some similar comments saying he's not very happy about the makeup of the France squad either. What's all this about?
That's right. He said he regretted the fact that none of our representatives were selected to play for the French team. You can read more about that in a very interesting piece in The Independent that focuses on how this is kind of turning into a controversy that's raised a lot of eyebrows in France, because the French team, the 23 players on the French team that were chosen by Didier Deschamps, it's actually one of the most multiracial teams in the tournament. 13 of the 23 players are not white on this team. And this piece reminds readers just why Karim Benzema is not on the team. And that's because he's actually under formal investigation for alleged links to this sex tape scandal. And Ben Arfa, he's a brilliant but inconsistent player, according to The Independent. And he is actually on the, he's a standby player. So technically he's on the team, even though he might not be used in every game. Now, this article also points out that football analysts point out that there's several French-born players of North African origin that would have been picked for the team, but they actually chose to play for other teams, like Algeria, for instance. So this is a SoFoot, a very popular sports magazine, football magazine. Their reaction to this whole controversy is this one. This is just the media suicide of Karim Benzema, and he can kiss any chance of playing for Les Bleus ever again. Goodbye.
It does seem that way. Thanks very much, Florence Villemino, rounding up for our international press review there for us.